Hi everybody, Andi Matheny here, and welcome to my series of acting lessons on YouTube. Today, we're going to be talking about cold reading. Okay, so why learn how to cold read? Well, it's a really good technique for every actor to have in their back pocket because you never know when you might be live in that casting director's office and they could hand you a script and say, you know what, just go out in the hallway and take 5 to 10 minutes and come back in and read it. Well, they don't expect you to memorize the script, but they do expect you to have good cold reading technique. Oh, and also, I know a few agents, if you meet them in person, they might want you to do the same thing. You can also use this technique for those last-minute self-tape auditions where you really didn't have time to memorize the entire script perfectly, but if you use this technique properly, you can even do it during your audition and no one will be the wiser. Okay, so before I show you how this technique works, I want you to be really clear what a cold read actually is. It's not a quick memorization of your script. What you're doing is you're actually holding the script in your hand and you're going back and forth between the script and your reader or whoever your scene partner is. It's just knowing when to use the script and when to make eye contact. And that part takes practice, but that's really all it is. Okay, let's get started. Now, there is a link down there to my website where you can print out this script. It's on my Act Alive book page, that book right there, which I'll talk about in just a second. So I do recommend that you do have this printed because it's good to learn this technique with the actual script paper in your hand. Also, if you have a color printer, this is color coded, so if you can use color, great. If not, just notice that what is here in red is also in bold. Okay, so what you can do is you can just print it out and then in the bold part, just highlight it so you know which is which. Let's take a look at the script. Here it is. Now, you're going to see two roles, number 1 and number 2. If you're by yourself, just do this by yourself. If you have a buddy to practice with, fantastic, you guys can switch off. So you're going to notice the first part of each line is written in black and not bold. However you say not bold, it's just not bold. The second half is bold and in red. And that is really important for this practice because I'm going to show you the technique and how it works right now. Where you see the first part of the line, the part in black, that is when your eye is going to stay, your eyes, sorry, you have 2 of them, maybe, but if you don't, that's okay. You're going to let your eyes be on the script for that entire part where it's in black. And then for the second part, you're going to lift the line off the page and make direct eye contact with your reader until you're finished saying the line. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Script right here. There's something I need to say to you, but I'm not completely comfortable sharing it. That's the technique. That's it. So here's why this technique works. You can literally, like I showed you, read almost the entire line right off the page. But as long as you end the line, the last thought, the last word, the last breath, making direct eye contact with your reader or your scene partner, that's how the viewer registers your connection. So that's the whole thing right there. It's about your connection, but we see it when it's ending, not in the beginning necessarily, but in the end. That is the key. So yes, I said this is not about memorizing, but you really are just lifting that last part. That's where the muscle memory training of this comes in, because in a way, while you're reading that first part, you're kind of like just letting your eye go a little bit farther down the line to lift that last part up. And because it's usually so short, it's really easily just grabbable, right? So you're really just grabbing that second part. So the second part of this whole technique that's as important as how you get your lines off the script is listening to your scene partner. What that means is while they're speaking in this script that you just got, you don't really know what their line is, but you're listening to what they have to say. That is going to be what drives you organically in order to respond to them to go and get your next line. Now, this is the tricky part for a lot of actors. We want to go back to our script and get our next line, but that means we're not listening to what they have to say. Your line isn't going anywhere. It's right here on the page. Take that moment let what they say land with you. Let that be a thought moment that you use in order to get your next line to respond to them. That's really what relationships are all about. You say something, it lands with me, I think about it, I respond to you, right? We're listening, we're connecting, we're responding. So now you're thinking, well, what if it's a fast-paced script? What if the dialogue moves really quickly? What if it's like an Aaron Sorkin kind of rat-a-tat-tat kind of pace? Well, you know what? This technique works for that too. You need to learn this first, slowly, and then build up to that, because once you know how this works, you'll be able to do any kind of script possible. Okay, want to see one more? Let's try the third line. I've been trying to improve, it's just that I have so many challenges. Simple. So now it's your turn. Why don't you go ahead and hit the pause button, and I'll be right here. Remember when I said this is not about memorizing? For some reason, when actors are first learning this technique, this is what I see a lot of. There's something I need to say to you, but shit, sorry. There's something I need to say to you, but I'm not. Sorry, shit. There's something I need to say to you, but I'm right. So that's trying to memorize rather than doing the technique exactly as demonstrated. Let your eyes stay on the page for that first part, grab the second part, and let it land. Trust it, it really works. Here's another thing I see a lot when actors are learning this technique is that the script becomes like this evil, irresistible magnet that keeps drawing their eyes back to it. There's something I need to say to you, but I'm not completely comfortable sharing it. You see how that doesn't work, and yet everybody does it. Maybe you did it too. I know you don't trust it yet, but trust me, it works. If you're afraid about losing your place on the script, train yourself while you're practicing just to move your hand down the page, just to kind of keep track of vaguely where you are. And if you don't see your next line immediately, don't worry, it's there waiting for you. Just use that again as more of your organic thought moment as you're responding to the other human being you're talking to. That's all. So this technique and many others are in my book, Act Alive. There's kind of a glare on it. Oh. So this technique and many others are in my book called Act Alive, the essential guide to igniting and sustaining your working actor career. It's available on Amazon. The link is down there. This book is just jam-packed with nuggets and gems that will get you on the fast track. It will level up your auditions and your acting work. So I think you should get it. It's really, really good. I hope this helped you. See you later.